Hey guys, it's Cryptrader again. Today I wanted to talk about the new XRP contract that got added to DFE the other day. The first thing you will notice is it's called XRP times 10,000. So I'll explain that first. The reason for that name is that the price of the contract traded is actually 10,000 times the price of XRP. So as you can see on the ladder here, the price is showing us 2,300 something instead of 23 cents. So it basically gets rid of that decimal place. And so your tick size ends up being $1 rather than 10,000ths of a cent. So it just makes it more aesthetically pleasing and easier to work with on the ladder. And so the good thing about the price of this and the tick size is it gives us a contract value that's very similar to the Bitcoin contract. And since the tick value for this contract is 0.1 Digitex, just like the Bitcoin contract, and the contract value is very similar, you can take position sizes about the same as what you're used to on the Bitcoin contract. Whereas the video I did the other day on Ethereum, the Ethereum tick value was like 0.25 Digitex and the contract value was like 300 and something Digitex. So you actually had to reduce your positions. You had to use like 40% of the position size you'd normally be used to when you're trading. Whereas this one is very similar to Bitcoin. It's just different price on the ladder here. And the way that you get to this contract is the same as I showed last week when we were looking at Ethereum. You just go to this tab up here at Futures, you go to Crypto, and you have the three crypto contracts that are listed currently. It shows you all the data for each one of these contracts. You can see it that XRP is currently around almost $4 million of traded volume. It's the lowest of the three right now because it's the newest. And so I would assume as interest picks up, you'll see the volume and liquidity pick up for XRP. Currently you see Bitcoin sitting at $23 million of volume, Ethereum at 11 million, and then you have XRP at 4 million. It shows you the tick size, 24-hour change, tick value, and all that. So that's the information that you can see right there, how the tick value differs and how the tick size differs between all three contracts. And the same way as I showed last week down here in the open positions, you now have this XRP times 10,000 down here. So once we're on that contract, if you have any other open positions on Bitcoin or Ethereum contracts, then you're able to close those here if you wanted to free up margin to be able to take positions on your XRP contract that we're currently on. Now we'll check out a trade here on the ladder. I'm just going to do one contract, and I'm going to show you that the tick value 0.1 Digitex. What that means is for every one contract that you take, you're going to be in profit or loss 0.1 Digitex per tick. So if I have a one contract position, if I go long right here, long into these contracts, you can see that for every tick that the price goes in my favor, I make 0.1 Digitex because I only have one contract. If I had 10 contracts, it would be 1 Digitex profit or loss per tick. If I had 100 contracts, it would be 10 Digitex profit or loss per tick. So I'm just going to right click right here and get out of this position. Now what I'm going to do is just take a small position here. I'm going to open up a short. It looks like we're sitting at resistance on this trend line. This probably isn't a trade I would normally take, but just for an example, I'll do that here. So if I take a short position, we see a clear resistance right here. So I'm basically just going to try to get some filled right here. And I could either take, maybe a one tick reaction off of this since we see this obvious resistance and try to pick up one tick, or maybe wait for a little bit more of a reaction down and take more than one tick. So we'll just see what happens here. We'll wait and see if wait for this to get filled before we place any bids down here for take profit. Alright, so you can see we got most all of our orders filled here. We've had an order of 1,000 contracts come in right below us. So we got everything but 43 contracts filled at our entry here at this resistance. And so what we're going to do here, and obviously you can see, okay, it looks like we might actually get filled here. That order disappeared. So let's see if we can get the rest of these contracts here so we get all 500 of our contracts filled. And there we go, we have 500 contracts filled. So as I said before, since the tick value is 0.1 Digitex per contract, per tick, what that means is if I have 500 contracts, then if I divide that by 10, that's actually how much Digitex I'm going to profit or loss per tick. So 500 contracts means if I have one tick profit, then I'm going to make 50 Digitex. And so since we're getting a little bit of a reaction off of this trend line, I could choose to go ahead and place a bid right here. You can see there's no one sitting here. I could go ahead and try to take profit here and see if I can get filled with some of these orders coming through. And so what I'm going to do is just try to place like a two tick profit here. Try to go for 100 Digitex, and we'll wait for a little while. We'll see if this gets filled as it's rejecting off of our resistance trend line there. Alright, you can see we're getting filled here. It took a little time, but now we've gotten back down here. We're getting some more of our contracts filled, so we can see if this will remain down here and no bids come up above us, and see if we can get this rest of the 400 contracts filled here. Alright, we're coming down to the end of the wire here. We've only got 21 contracts. Now we have 11 contracts. One contract left. We're about to be closed out of our short position. Okay, and we ended, I think I misspoke earlier. We're actually, since it was 2 ticks profit, we were looking at getting 100 Digitex. And since I already had negative 0.1 P&L, that's why we ended up with 99.9. If I didn't have that negative 0.1 P&L already going into that position, we would have ended with 100 Digitex, because 500 contracts with 2 tick profit would give us 100 Digitex, because it's 50 Digitex per tick. So it's basically, you know, as simple as that. If you have time to sit here and grind out these ticks all day, even on XRP with the liquidity not quite as high as what you would see on the Bitcoin or Ethereum contracts right now, you can still grind out, you can still grind out some profits. That didn't take but maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes at the most. I had to speed the video up, obviously, as you could see. But 5 minutes to grind out 2 ticks. If you can do that, 25, 50 to 100 times a day, you're doing pretty well. So that's the good thing about this ladder, being able to manage these trades effectively, and just grind out these ticks over and over all day long. Alright guys, that's about it for this video. I'm going to wrap it up here. I plan to do another video on the gold and Amazon contracts that are on testnet tomorrow, so you can stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys then.